Let's go.
There we go.
Well, that was a cool intro.
Yeah, I think it's getting old. I need to update it.
I've never seen it, so
I've had it up there for about a year and a half, I think. Oh, okay. So, why don't you guys tell us a little about your channel and who you guys are and all that good stuff? Yeah.
All right.
I'm Kathy.
I'm Brian.
And we're from Northwest Arkansas, Rogers. We live on 15 acres and
we make the best of it. We can grow rocks really good. We got rocks everywhere.
Yeah, like our garden has to be in raised beds because of all the limestone rock. So we're a resourceful living homestead, and we try to be resourceful with everything we do.
Yeah, my son, he was stationed in Oklahoma, and they had to go out and do some digging and stuff for trenches and stuff like that. And he was like, "This is the desert. Where's all the sand? All I dig up is rocks."
Yeah, there's rocks.
It's hard land.
Yep. Missouri, Oklahoma, Arkansas, it's a lot of rocks.
You don't really get good kind of soil or land till you break over into Kansas. We're in the mountain range.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of homesteaders in the northwest side of Arkansas.
There is. There's a few of us,
and in Oklahoma too. There's a lot.
Yeah, seems like there's like a big old range where a lot of the homesteaders go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
we
do. It's not ready yet. Almost.
Oh, that was a minute.
So we've been pressure canning broth for the last 3 days.
Oh boy!
We got the last batch about to come out of the pressure cooker. So
you guys probably hear that.
Yeah.
Yep.
All the time.
Yep. I think it's got less than a minute. I go turn it off.
Yeah, Jiggler's doing its little hula dance.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say I've seen a lot of canning videos that you guys do.
Yes.
What would be your kind of your favorite thing to can?
The go-to thing really is your broth and meats, and reason being for the meats, if you ever lost electricity, that is one thing. It does not have to be refrigerated, and it keeps for a long time.
Nothing like when you lose power for a couple of weeks and then you're in a rush to can a bunch of meat up.
Yeah, and that's what we would have to do because we do got a lot. It's in freezers, but we have the capability of doing it.
Yeah. And we're on propane, so we could still use our stove, and we could use, a propane burner outside if we had to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing I liked when I did live out in the country. We canned because I started with a trailer. It was a 10 by 50 trailer, and we kind of built onto that as our family grew and stuff. Well, we have to build another room. But we found out the first year of an old trailer, we didn't have central air or any of that fancy stuff. So we found out that there's no way we're going to can inside the house anymore because summertime. Oh man,
brutal.
Yeah. So I built a outside kitchen. And that was so much better. And we ended up, cooking outside most of the time anyway, be it on a fire or whatever. But there's nothing like being able to go outside and do all the canning and all your jars and everything done up right then and there.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we built a farmhouse, we started on it in October of 18. October of 18.
When we got our land cleared and a pad built. And it was just a continual process from 18 till we got our occupancy last year.
July of 23, we finished building it.
2 years ago.
We built it ourselves.
Yeah.
We paid cash as we went. So as we had cash, we put money into it and did the next project, the next phase. And we built so it's a shop house. So in the shop, we have full hookups for a camper, and we have big plumbing and stuff and a big stainless table that we do a lot of work.
Do our processing and stuff. But the camper we lived in inside the shop while we built the house part that you see.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we lived in our camper for 3.5 years.
Oh, I know how that is.
Cleaned up the property, and then once we got the shell built, we moved the camper inside the shop. So it's been a continuous process. You know, when we first bought the property, we got a really good deal on it, but it was a landfill. So we had to do all the cleanup.
Oh.
It took us a year to do the cleanup. It had 2 mobile homes on it that were condemned. So we had to break those apart and get those off the property. We had the property logged and then turned around and got the money we got from logging. We turned around and had the pad built. And we just kept recycling our money right back into our next phase of what we wanted to do here.
And we wound up with a 45 by 60 building that is 2-story if we wanted. It's 16-foot wall. And we elected just to go with the high ceiling instead of doing 2-story.
Yeah.
But we don't owe. We paid for everything cash. So our land's paid for, our house paid for. We just don't owe.
So basically it's like a shop.
Yeah.
And then we just built the house part, 2-bedroom, 3-bath inside underneath in the shop, basically.
Right.
And you guys got into it when the prices were low too.
Yes, we did. No, we did.
Oh,
it did
right at the very tail end.
We were paying $56 for a sheet of OSB.
Yeah. It got up there, but you're right.
Yeah.
The majority, I'd say probably 87% of it was before.
Yes.
But like you see here, this cedar ladder going up behind that TV, there's a loft up here that it almost looks like Bass Pro. It's got a bunch of our deer heads, and it's lit up real nice. And
that's cool.
We had thought about doing 2-story and doing the master upstairs, but we thought, we're not getting any younger. We don't want to be climbing stairs. And we made a few mistakes along the way with things that the inspector caught, but it was too late. We had already done it. Like our windows too high off the ground. And then so it didn't allow us to be able to have a 2-story because of the height. Now, so we only have 5 feet in the loft, in one part of the loft, and then it opens up, into the trusses. But anyway, we made some mistakes along the way. We've learned from it.
Oh, that's the main thing is learning.
Yeah. We had a tornado come through here in May of last year. It's been almost a year.
Yeah, Memorial.
We lost a lot of trees. So we invested in a sawmill, and we've been milling up all those trees. And all that lumber we've been milling up, we've been staging to build a tiny home on our Oklahoma property.
Okay.
So we built a storage shed on it already, and then we're going to build a tiny home.
Yeah, if you're watching our videos, you'll see the storage shed build, and the tiny home's going to resemble that.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Far
I've seen
as
the storage building.
Yeah.
The tiny home will mimic that.
Yeah.
Oh,
And that
okay.
was made from milled lumber.
And we've got probably 80% of the lumber milled already and drying out right now.
That's
Just
good.
from all the down trees
Yeah.
that we had.
That saves a lot of money.
It does.
Yeah, I was looking at the prices of the sawmills before. It was like 2019, and then look at them now, and it's like, wow,
Well-
it's like the eggs.
Oh, well, we didn't look at them back then. We hadn't thought about it back then, but
Yeah.
so we feel like we got a pretty good deal on it.
We did. The thing about ours, if you buy a used sawmill, it's pretty much put together. If you
Yeah.
buy brand new from like Woodland Mills, is what we bought. We elected for it to be on a trailer, so I could collapse everything and move it mobile and be milling somewhere else. So that's the reason why we went that route. It is a little harder to set up when you're wanting to get everything level, when you don't have any level property on your land, but we're able to make some boards.
Yeah, where we have our sawmill set up right now is where our camper pad was when we lived in our camper.
Yeah.
It's
okay.
we put in hookups down there.
Yeah,
when we
I've seen a
lived
lot
in-
of people. They use like 6x6s and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and that's heavy. Unless you have machinery that'll pick it up and move it where you want it, that gets heavy, and it's still, you have to level it up.
You do. Yeah.
Yeah.
But this being on a trailer frame, it does make it easier. You just got to stay on top of it because it vibrates so much and things kind of move, shift. But
And we don't have a permanent pad for it yet.
we're going to
That's-
pour one.
That's not in the near future, but it is on the list.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
I also seen that you guys do a lot of dehydrating too.
Yeah.
Have you found something that you dehydrated and you'll never dehydrate again?
Pretty much everything we dehydrate is, we got an agenda. We got a plan. That's the reason why especially eggs.
Yes. I tried to make fruit leather.
Oh yeah.
I tried it twice and it just didn't turn out. So that I won't try it again. But fruit
Either
leather
too
is the
crunchy
only
it's too sticky.
it was too crispy. It just kind of crumbled.
Yeah.
So I guess I cooked it too long.
Probably, but
that's the only thing that we have dehydrated that didn't turn out.
and we was doing it for the grandkids. It wasn't
Yeah.
nothing that we were preserving for us.
Yeah, I was gonna put it in their stockings at Christmas time.
But you can dehydrate eggs
Yeah, we have
And-
a lot of
and powder those. They have a 25-year shelf life.
we've probably got about 6 quarts of powdered dehydrated eggs right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. I remember when I was in Job Corps, I had to fix those. I wasn't a fan, but if that's all you got,
Yeah.
The powdered eggs, yeah.
I mean, when you do it that way, all you get is scrambled eggs out of it. But we did the taste test on it when we did the dehydrated eggs the first time, and we did a test on it on a video, and they turned out just like scrambled
They
eggs.
actually turned out good, real
Yep.
good.
Yeah, I don't know who made these eggs, but
Well, those were probably a generic or
I think it was military grade.
It
Yeah.
was
they probably didn't actually take real eggs and dehydrate them and and then rehydrate them.
Yeah.
Like ours
It
would be.
it came in cartons, and we
Right.
had to put a cup with 2 cups of water and
Yeah.
then scramble them up. And
Yeah.
yeah, I was not a fan.
Yeah. Well, we tasted ours, and they taste just like regular scrambled eggs. So
Oh,
we're
that's good.
pretty impressed with them. Like I said, we've been making. Here's my turkey broth. So with what's in the pressure canner now, 75 jars of broth. Well, some of
That's
that
good.
is. So somebody gave us a goat last week, and we processed that and we canned that. So this is goat meat. So we've got about 10 jars of goat meat pints. So
Yeah,
this is
I like goat meat.
I've never had it, so
Yeah.
looking forward to trying it.
Couldn't let a goat go to waste.
No.
We made turkey broth, chicken broth, vegetable broth, bone broth, and then the goat meat over the last 3
That's
days.
the way to do it.
So trying to stock the pantry.
So when do you think you'll be able to get yourself into a homestead that you want?
I don't know. My son is right now, and it you know, being in the military, it changes. So he's looking at Kentucky or Tennessee because of the closeness to the base that he might be at.
So I guess he's going to be a lifer.
He originally said 4 years, and yeah, he's still in there.
What branch?
Army.
Army.
Yeah.
My oldest, he was Army, and our
next to the oldest
is a Navy SEAL.
Okay, yeah.
He's still in. The one in the Army, he got out after 10 years.
10 years.
Yeah.
He was a medical discharge,
Yeah.
but
not from something in the military. He was in a car accident.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember because he originally went in for National Guard, and the National Guard did him wrong because there's a base like 10 miles from here. Well, not even 10 miles, probably 8 miles from here. And that's where he was supposed to be stationed. And he was all good with it and everything. And he gets out of boot camp and everything, comes back here and goes to get stationed. They stationed him all the way up in Cleveland.
Oh boy.
And not a good area for military to be at on top of everything else, because in a month's time, 3 to 4 soldiers from that base would get robbed. That's how bad the area was for that.
Yeah.
And anytime there were things happening in Cleveland, they had to be on call for that. So he could not be. He'd have to drive all the way up there, which is at least 3 hours, 4 hours, depending on traffic.
Right.
And he told them, I'm supposed to be stationed over here. And they wouldn't listen to him or do anything. And they ended up discharging him because his vehicle had broke down. He couldn't get up there. And they were supposed to provide transportation. They never did. So my other son was still in high school, and they were trying to get him to join the Army. And a recruiter came in when my oldest son was still here and said, why ain't you went in the service? He said, I tried. And he said, I was in National Guard. And he said, what happened? And he told him and everything. And he says, hold on a minute. And he picked up the phone and said, do you want to go back in the military? And he said, I don't want to go in the National Guard. And he says, I'll tell you what, I can get you hooked up and we can get you back in the Army. And in a couple weeks, he was gone.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that is good that worked out for him.
Appreciate him for that.
Yeah.
Appreciate both of them.
Yeah.
So did the youngest son go in?
No, he never did.
How old is he now?
My oldest one is what? 30, 31. Yeah. Oh man. He's getting old. Dang.
Yeah, my oldest is going to be 40 this year.
Oh boy.
Yep.
And then our youngest is going to be 24 in 2 days. We have 5 between the two of us.
Yep. I've been retired 2 years from JB Hunt, and 40 plus years heavy equipment is all I've done all my life. The last 21 years of it was behind a desk, and that was at JB Hunt. So it was time to retire when Biden was spending my 401k faster than I could get to it.
Yeah.
So are you around the Youngstown, Niles area, or are you?
No, I'm more central area.
More central?
Yeah. Newcomerstown. I'm like kind of cat a corner in between Newcomerstown and Zanesville.
Okay. Yep. I dealt with a lot of the shops up in that area. JB Hunt's got a shop in Niles, but anytime that we broke down, in the area that we'd have to go to Cleveland or wherever, that's I dealt with that area a little bit. Mine was mostly West Coast, but when you take the call, you take the call for the guy that's broke down.
Yeah. Now we were talking about the rabbits, and you were talking about just getting them. How many did you get?
We got 3. We got 1 buck and 2 does.
Yeah. I remember when I went down to get a rabbit. My son said he wanted a rabbit, so I said, okay. I won't mind because I can use rabbit droppings for my garden.
Right.
Yep.
And he said, oh, that poor thing. He's so lonely out there all by himself. And I said, well, okay, we'll go get another one. And as long as they're, they don't start fighting or anything. Because I asked for another male. And pretty soon I started seeing hair or fur all over the place in bundles. And I'm like, oh no.
You had a female.
That's not a male.
Yep.
And I said, and I had to build another cage, but I didn't get to it in time. Which if a male is in there, what happens to the babies?
Yep, he'll eat them.
Yep. And the next go around, I got them separated and everything, and then kind of put them back together when I wanted rabbits.
Yeah.
So that was a little bit easier.
Well, Brian built our rabbit hutch. We've got a video out there of the rabbit hutch that he built, and it's got four compartments. And one of them, 2 of the compartments, it's got a door that'll swing open on the inside to make a double. Oh. So when if we breed one doe at a time, and once she has the babies, we could put her in a double. That way she can kind of get away from the babies if she needs to. And we haven't decided yet if we're going to breed at the same time or one at a time. I think for the first time, we might do one at a time. That way, if they have 10 babies, that'd be a lot of rabbits.
Both of them have 10.
And then we only, we got to have the males separated. So we haven't decided yet, but we're not even going to worry about it until about May.
Yeah.
I got a feeling I'm gonna have to build probably another 4-stall
Well,
hutch.
he built a really nice rabbit hutch.
Yeah.
Super nice.
Most of the wood I got was from I don't know if it's a machine shop or whatever it is, but they throw a bunch of whatever they bring in, the crates and everything.
Right.
That's how I built mine. Just a couple you know, for the waste to go underneath and fall down to where I don't have to clean it out all the time.
Yeah, we have this section under it, and we put some trays under there, so the droppings just fall down in the trays, and we just pull the trays out, empty it into the compost pile, and then put them back in there. So it works out. It's working out pretty good.
It is.
Yeah,
We've got a watering system that's the water's in a 5-gallon bucket, and it gravity feeds into the little. It's got these little.
It's almost like a hamster spigot.
Yeah.
They just got a lick on it, and
yeah, that's what I need to do, because the white and red ones, the poplar ones that you get, has a little tray, and they push down on it and it fills it up with water.
Right. Yep. I know what you're talking about.
That lasted really good until he decided to start chewing on the plastic.
Yeah.
And then
Well, and this.
Yep. These are metal. They can't chew.
It's a metal, and then the water line is on the outside of it. We were going to put it on the back side of the hutch, but then if we push the hutch up against our garage, then we can't get to the watering system. So he's got it mounted on the front of it.
I've got it rigged up on the front for now.
The little spigots are metal, so they can't chew them.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only issue I have, it's up here in Ohio, so it gets when it gets cold, it gets cold. So
yeah, ours froze up too.
Yeah,
they did. I'd have to go and take water out to a bowl.
Yeah.
That I put in there, and
and
until it thawed out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's been just a week, really.
Yeah. I was out of town working the whole week of all the coldest weather that we had. So he was sick with the flu and still having to go take care of the rabbits, take them water every day.
Oh. Yeah. When it gets real cold up here, I just go and get a couple heads of cabbage or lettuce and toss in there, because they get all their hydration from eating.
Yeah,
and that's true,
because I could fill a water dish up, and they would drink it for 5-10 minutes and go away, and then come back and it was frozen again.
Yes,
they'll chew that ice though.
Oh yeah.
Oh, our rabbits love lettuce. I put a head of lettuce in there 2 days ago. Yesterday I went out there and it was completely gone. They'll eat a whole head of lettuce in one day.
Do you deer hunt?
Haven't in a long time. And when I did, I never had a license. It was okay on somebody's property and all that,
right.
But this been a long time ago. And it was down in Millfield, Ohio, or not Millfield, but McConnellsville, Ohio. And there was rangers and stuff around, but not way out deep where we were, so we didn't get in trouble or anything. But there was deals being made. I'll just leave it at that.
We have to do it. We'll process between 3 and 6 deer every season.
Yeah,
and 3 is not enough.
Yeah, 3 is not enough, because we're out a couple months before season opens up. But we both deer hunt.
We don't buy meat at the store.
We process our own deer.
Yep.
We make specialty stuff sometimes.
Summer sausage.
we process our last deer we killed. We processed the whole thing in summer sausage.
Oh, yeah. You guys got them small deer down there, though.
Yeah.
Oh, brag.
Yeah.
Listen at you. You got
Yeah.
them big Ohio grain fed deer.
Yeah.
We need a couple of those Ohio deer, and we'd be
Yeah.
good. We were actually supposed to do a mule deer hunt in New Mexico in December or January?
January.
In January. And it got canceled because a game warden was our guide, and he something come up.
Had
and
a family deal that came
Yeah.
up and had to cancel on us.
Yep.
But
So we didn't get to do our mule deer hunt.
we understood.
Yeah,
That's
but we're
no big
we're
deal.
planning to do it next year, so we were guaranteed to be able to bring home 2 deer.
Well, here's a tip for you. If you're looking for properties, I know you mentioned 2 of the highest places that you could ever buy land,
Tennessee and Kentucky.
Tennessee and Kentucky. You can buy land still to this day for little or nothing in New Mexico, Colorado, Wyoming, and Montana.
Yeah.
They have the cheapest per acre. You can still get an acre of land for $1,000. It's cheap.
But
Yeah.
Kentucky and Tennessee I think are both good places for homesteads.
They are.
Aren't they? Don't they have a lot of Amish there too?
I'm not sure. Well, I know here we got Amish because,
Yeah.
Oklahoma.
Yeah, but you're getting down there where they give birth to babies that have 1 eyeballs and in them Appalachian mountains.
Yeah. And that's the northwest side is where he's talking about looking for too.
So the whole family. Do you have a daughter, or is it a daughter-in-law?
Daughter-in-law.
Okay.
Yeah. And,
So when you find that land, everybody's going with you.
My youngest son with me too. Yeah.
Yeah.
And him still being in the military, it makes it kind of nice because, he doesn't have to pay tax right off the bat, or he can do the down payment, but he can not have to pay the down payment. I'll put it that way.
The GI Bill.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's handy.
And that's why I said you might as well start while you're still in case you're, 4 years down the row, you say, I've had enough of this. I can't do it no more. Which he says that. And then when it comes time to re-enlist, guess what? I'm going to be in the Army for another 4 years.
Yep.
I'm like,
them incentives are pretty good when they throw $20,000 at you.
Yeah.
Well, and before you know it, he'll be in there 20 years.
Yeah.
He'll have, be retiring from there.
Yeah. I think he's 13 in there right now.
Yeah. Wow.
13 or 14. Well, because they did count the time he was in the National Guard too, instead of deferring him, because he didn't have to go back and do boot camp or anything like that again.
Oh, okay. So it's time carried over, kind of.
Yeah. So
cool.
They took those and went with it like that. So yeah, that was good. The last, well, the one before he re-enlisted, they told him, they give him a bonus. Plus they said, well, if you go to Germany and do the officers thing, you'll get a bonus for becoming or doing the officer thing. And that was like
Isn't that a 2-year stay though?
More like 3 or 4, I think it.
Is it 3? Okay.
Yeah, because
I knew
he
there was
actually
some
re-enlisted
time.
again. He ended up deploying while he was there just once, luckily, and which I was glad, because he was in Romania during the stuff that was going on with Russia and Ukraine, because they're right there.
So that was recent.
When was he there? Because I'm thinking when SEAL Team 8, my son, they grabbed them up and took them. They took them to Germany, but there was something going on because he had to leave Miranda, his wife, at the base.
Yeah, the same thing happened. They were on call for, or on the ready, or what was it? For like 4 or 5 days, because they could look out the base and see Russians.
Oh, wow.
And the stuff that I can't talk about, but
right.
Same way, because Jared, he told us that he said, you're going to see on the news a bombing, and I just want you to know that I'm safe. I don't know anything about it, but I'm safe.
Yeah, he can't tell us things either.
Yeah. And what my son's MOS is, I forget what number it is, but he's in the mobile, does the radar stuff. And
wow. Now, the oldest one that was in the Army, his was communications. So it's basically the same thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he tells would be to your son to shoot something down that's over here.
Gotcha.
Basically.
They would paint it for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. And that's one of the worst things because you talk about the Navy SEAL, during the Syria thing, there was a base that was for the Navy SEALs, and the Army was there to, guard duty basically, and clean up stuff, like if the SEALs went out and acquired a bunch of stuff, then they would take it out in the desert and dispose of it. So, which that was fun stuff, because they got to play with the items and stuff.
They did, yes. Yeah. Well, he was his first stay, or his first mission that Team 8 went out on, was Spain. I mean, that boy no more said I do. Got married. It was almost like the American Sniper. He no more got married, and he got his orders, and they shipped him 3.5 years to Spain.
Oh,
his wife got to go, but she didn't get to go for about a month, I think.
Oh, it's longer than that.
Oh,
yeah.
It takes a long
May,
time to get family over.
June, July, August. Maybe it was about 4 months. I think she went in September and they got married in May.
Yeah. It was about 4 months before she got to join up with him again. But they're really good with the wives on base. They really are. They take care of them.
Yeah. One thing that I wasn't, and this was, our last so-called leader, the family was, they're barely making it. They're having to pay bills and this and that. And they came and told the military families that to sign up for food stamps. And that irritated the heck out of me. Yeah. This was when he was in Fort Sill.
And this Oklahoma. He's in, and they told him to sign up. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because they were getting cuts like,
Oh yeah, there was kickbacks on all that.
Yeah. And man, that irritated me so much.
I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah. But once he went over to Germany, which he got a pay raise,
Yeah.
His rank went up and stuff. And it was a lot better. He said one thing he's going to miss is Germany's food is so much better than our food here in the United States, in the grocery stores and stuff.
Health-wise, yes. Yeah.
That it is so much better. It's more expensive, but it's better.
We try not to go to the grocery store as much as possible.
Oh yeah, it'd be nice not to have to go to one.
Yeah,
at all.
We're preppers, so we started prepping probably about 5 years ago.
Yeah,
4 to 5 years ago.
When we knew we was going to get into building our final place that we was wanting to settle into and a little bit of land. I don't know if this was part of some things that you was wanting to know, but our skill set is very much survival. We have a root cellar that we put all this canning stuff into. We hunt, we fish, and preserve all of that, every bit of it.
And we try to do everything we can ourselves. We don't want to, hire somebody to do it. If we can do it, or we think we can do it, or we can look on YouTube and figure out how to do it, we do that.
My mom, being raised by her, she was probably the Jeremiah Johnson of women. That woman, she trapped, fished, hunted all of her life, and she was a veterinarian later on after she got out of school, went to college. But I learned a lot of my skill set from her. Matter of fact, her canning that she's doing, she's using one of my mom's old pressure cookers.
Oh, that's cool.
It is.
Yeah. It's amazing how them things last so long too.
Well, they do. We just replaced the seal on it. Both of his parents have passed, and when we cleaned out the estate, we got the pressure cooker, and I'd never used one until Friday or Saturday.
Oh, I kept threatening her that you're gonna learn to use this, baby.
The seal was missing out of it, so we ordered a seal for it. And anyway, I was up real late, I think Friday night, and I was determined to get a lot of that canning done. As soon as a batch come out, put a new batch in.
Yeah.
And he had already gone to bed, so he had already showed me and told me, how to do it, how to lock it, and all the ins and outs.
Oh, let me tell you, once she got it, got in her blood so thick. I went to bed. I got up about 1 o'clock in the morning and looked out the door. She's still sitting in the chair over here, letting that thing just jiggle away. Oh, she got to eat up with it.
Yeah,
that's good though.
Once you get over that, because everybody's got that fear. Oh, it's going to blow up the stove and go through the roof.
Yeah.
The reason I was so afraid of it was because that happened one time when I was younger. I lived at home. My dad was pressure cooking something, and it blew up in the kitchen.
I've seen it on pictures and stuff, but I've never actually witnessed one blowing up.
Yeah, if you leave it locked down until that thing completely exhausts all the steam out of it, you're safe.
Oh, yeah.
What happens is people will get impatient and crack that lid, and you still got pressure on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it just takes off.
Yeah, I've seen people, they can't wait, and they'll open the lid towards them, And
Oh, the steam. Yeah.
yeah. And I'm like, no, you open it the other way.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've learned to do that because but I let it stop steaming before I
just
take
let it go
the
back
weight
down
off.
itself.
And
Yeah.
so it's probably almost done right now while we've been on this live. Pressuring down.
Yeah. Have you guys done any fermenting?
No. And we were given a bunch of cabbage. Somebody gave us about 10 heads of cabbage, and I thought about doing that, but it's like you have to babysit it.
Do you like kimchi?
Some of it's not too bad.
They might as well just call it sauerkraut. So
Yeah.
Spicy
almost
sauerkraut. Yeah.
And I'm not a big fan of sauerkraut. I'm not a big fan of coleslaw. So, but we love cabbage.
I am.
So
I love it.
I love to fry it. Yeah.
I pressure canned some cabbage. Some people say you can't do it, and some people say you can, but we'll try it out. I pressure canned 10 quarts earlier today.
Yeah.
Of cabbage. I wasn't going to let the cabbage go to waste.
Oh no.
We try not to waste anything. If we're not going to use it in time, I'll either put it in the freezer or I'll make a broth out of it or I'll dehydrate it.
Yeah, I love just cabbage soup. You know, some meat and potatoes and carrots.
Yep.
And,
sure.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's good stuff.
I put a head of cabbage, cut it up, and put it in the crock pot with some. I like to use some tomato bouillon in my cabbage. It's really good.
Yeah, that's where what I do with when I'm canning spaghetti sauce, or I'll dehydrate the skins of the potato or tomato, and then grind them all up.
Okay.
And make a paste.
I will probably do that this year. I have not done. I have dehydrated tomatoes and ground them up into a powder. And then if I need a tomato paste, I just get a spoonful of the powder.
Yep.
But I've not done the skins.
Yeah.
But I do.
I mean
spaghetti sauce.
I mean, if you got chickens and whatever, it doesn't go to waste or anything. But like if not last year, but the year before, I had so many tomatoes. All my skins, I just tossed them on top of the trays and dehydrate. It doesn't take much time at all.
Right.
And then you just put them in I just use a coffee grinder.
That's what we
coffee
that's
grinder.
What I use. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And
that's what I use.
And it turns it into a powder.
Yep.
I do that with the garlic and paprika and all that stuff.
Yeah, but you got such perfect soil to grow perfect tomatoes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-oh. There you go.
We last year we didn't have too many tomatoes. I would love to have the problem of having too many tomatoes.
We have beautiful plants.
We had a lot of
beautiful plants.
We had a tornado come through too the end of May, and that damaged some of them. We still got tomatoes.
Yeah.
But it did hinder them.
What kind of tomatoes do you guys grow?
A bunch of different kinds.
A bunch of different kinds.
Yes. Yeah. I probably had
my favorite, as far as a all-around tomato slicer and everything that you can use as a celebrity. That is really, and the Jupiter 2000's a good one. Beef steaks are good, but I like the bushy tomatoes more because you can do more with them.
Yeah.
Well, and this year I've got a lot of stuff started in my greenhouse. And on the tomatoes, all of my Romas, I've got 28 Roma tomato plants coming up because they cut up so firm. Yeah. Like for if I want a chunky salsa, I love Roma tomatoes for salsa.
Yeah.
You can't rule out the Arkansas Traveler.
Yeah.
It's actually a good tomato.
We have grown a lot of different tomatoes, and
Yep.
we had, I mean, I lost track of what all I had growing last year. I'd buy a bunch of varieties of stuff. Mortgage lifter. I mean, we had cherry tomatoes. We had red ones, yellow ones, white ones, orange ones.
Tomatillos.
Yeah, I mean, I bought this variety pack, and I thought they were like all these different color big tomatoes, and they were all cherry tomatoes. But we would just eat them off the vine. They were so good.
Yeah.
Especially
Whenever it's time to go weed the garden, you got a little snack to take with you.
Well,
those Snow White.
Yeah, you're right.
and
She grew some of the best looking head of cabbages you ever seen, and we harvested a couple of them,
7
and
of them.
had some more coming in,
2
and
left out, 4 left out there.
and we went out.
hedgehog
We went
came
out
in.
there and was like, "What tore this up?"
Those cabbages looked like somebody took a knife and just sliced it in half. We had a groundhog
Oh,
that helped himself to the garden and took my
Oh
last,
my gosh!
because I was trying to have where the cabbages were coming out at different times. So as we would eat one, then, you know, the next week or two, there'd be another one ready. And then,
Yeah.
you know, like that. And he
She
took the one.
finally caught him out there. She
And
grabbed
I-
the 17 HMR and sent a Freedom pellet to him, and
Yep. I took care of him.
yeah. I've got I'm in the city, and I have deer that come into the city to eat my usually the leaves off my cucumbers.
oh, I bet. Especially the new flowers.
One day I come walking out of the front the house, and here comes this deer running uphill through the town, not even 3 feet from me, just passed me and kept on going up the hill. I'm like, we're in the city. Why are there deer in here?
Yeah, we had to have a 7-foot fence around our garden
Oh yeah,
because
I
the
bet.
deer
Out
would
in
just
country,
come in there
yeah.
and annihilate it.
yeah.
But that groundhog got under the fence.
Yeah.
So it was just a black netting. We ripped out the whole garden in the fall, and we're gonna redo the whole garden. I think this weekend we're supposed to have a guy coming over to help level the ground a little better, and then we're gonna put down weed barrier, that ground cover weed barrier stuff.
And put a
And
high
we're-
tunnel on it.
and we're going to use cattle panels, and they'll be 7 feet tall with the cattle panels. I think 6.5 feet tall. Anyway, we're redoing the whole garden this year. So
Yeah.
I'm eager to get out there and get started on that.
Yeah, it's almost time.
I know it. I got my
You guys are
start.
probably already starting seeds down there, aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
Inside.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're in my greenhouse
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
shop.
I've got a little bit of herbs and stuff. I'm trying to hold off because it's itching me to go up there and start planting some.
Yeah.
You can-
I know it.
You can plant your beets, turnips, potatoes,
Garlic, onions.
onions. You can plant those right now.
Yeah, I've got some buckets and some cardboard boxes out back. It's got
Yeah, with the
potatoes and garlic and all that stuff in it. But then we've got a greenhouse in the shop, just a small little greenhouse, and it is full. I don't think I can fit anything else in there. I keep adding to it. But the thing that's doing the best in there is my tomatoes.
Yeah. I've got a couple dwarf tomato plants, but I'm holding off until I'm gonna try to at least wait until the 15th, the halfway mark in March before I get in there, because about a month later I'm like no room in the room, because
Yeah.
the light area is that I have tomatoes growing up in the lights and everything else. So
Well, mine aren't growing that big. They're only about like that. So, and I've had them started since end of January.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah. End of
Maybe.
January, 1st of February is when I started them. So they've been going for about 5-6 weeks now. And they're not real big. But I'm determined to use seeds for everything.
This year, we're going to try our, we had a different compost brought in, a mushroom compost. So we're going to see how good that works with the garden. And we've been adding the rabbit to it. So
that does so good.
Do you know Adrian with Indiana Backyard Gardener?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with her seed swap right now. I'm waiting on my seeds to come in from her. Yeah.
A neighbor a couple years ago moved in across the alleyway, and he was growing corn and stuff. So I said, well, I should try to grow some corn. Now, I only have raised beds because my backyard was, whoever lived here before filled it with gravel and stuff. So it's packed in pretty good. So I'd have to remove all that before I did it in ground or anything like that. But I had a 4x4 raised bed. So I said, well, I'm going to try to do the three sister thing. Corn, green beans, and squash all in the same bed, see what happens. And probably about 3 weeks in, my corn was twice the size as his, and he started his way before mine. And by the time I was getting corn off of it, it was 11, 12 feet tall.
Wow.
And
we don't grow corn, but I think it would just take up too much space at this point. And then it would get so tall. I mean, you'd have to have a high fence to keep deer out.
Oh yeah. Yeah. The thing with last year, we had a very bad drought. We got like rain 3, maybe 4 times in the whole summertime.
Same thing for us.
And
terrible.
One thing I did is, I think I showed it in a video somewhere, but I put a scoop of the rabbit droppings in a bucket, then filled it up with water, and then let it sit there for a few hours, then went out there with a drill and a paint mixer and and mixed it up real good.
Yeah.
And then went out and poured it on my garden.
Okay.
And poured it on the corn, and oh man, the corn loved it.
Well, we'll have to try that.
Yeah, so because that rabbit manure is not a hot manure, so it's
I mean, you can just scoop it right on to your garden.
Yeah, and my peppers did great. My tomatoes did pretty good. The other stuff, just a lot of it burned up because it was just too much.
Yeah, our dirt, we live on a dirt road, and it was so dry, it looked like snow.
Every time somebody drove by,
just dust would settle on the trees and stuff.
Yeah.
That's how dry it was. It was real bad.
Okay, we're at the end of the hour. So do you guys got anything like plans of videos and stuff coming out on your channel that you want to talk about?
We do. We've got we'll be starting back on this tiny home deal that we had talked about in Oklahoma, but a lot of the videos that are going to be coming out from me are going to be on the sawmill.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
Building the tiny home, so hopefully we'll have people watching, following along with us.
Yep,
we're doing it all ourselves.
And you said you're going to do your redo your garden too.
Yeah. That'll be video.
That'll start this weekend when we start on that. Yeah.
And we're like you, we got to use raised bed because there's no soil here.
Yep.
Yeah, unless you're growing rocks.
Yeah.
And we can do that.
Okay. Yeah, I think Grace already put your link up there, so go ahead and run over there and check their canning stuff. I almost said freeze drying, but dehydrating,
Vacuum sealing.
vacuum sealing. Also seen some deer and stuff in there that you might want to check out. But head over there and check them out. And thanks for coming up here and sharing your channel with us and whatnot.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, thanks for having
Oh
us.
yeah, it's my pleasure. But that's all we're going to do for today. And thanks everybody for hanging out. And we'll see you on the next one.
Great.
Thank you.
Good night.
Bye.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh yeah. Thank you. You too. Don't copyright this.